study trip is a very important part of the College of Europe program because it gives not only practical knowledge but also makes students get acquainted with different cultures in life.
We have learned a lot about the contemporary memorial, historical and political issues at stake in the region.
I've grown up my whole life hearing about Yugoslavia, about this region, its challenges, its complexes, and I really wanted to discover what makes Balkans so special.
We started with a presentation on a NATO base out here near Sarajevo about the presence of the EU in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
They seemed to be attentive, they were engaged, and I think they put up the very right questions which could emerge in connection with UFO's presence here and UFO's future for all citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Guys, are you ready for Brussels?
Yeah! We're excited to get there, to Brussels.
I chose Brussels and Luxembourg because I wanted to visit all the institutions, and since the agenda was full of meetings with high-level officials, it was quite interesting. I very much enjoyed our visits to Commission, to the Parliament.
We found more about the key priorities of the new strategic concept and also discussed about the new threats in time of war. It's always very impressive to have first-hand information.
Nino, where are we flying to?
To Riga.
We managed to learn about the contemporary situation in Ukraine, a little bit on the background but also on the practical side, and definitely a little bit more about the Russian strategy in the cyber domain.
We had a presentation on the strategy, actual military strategy of Russia. We're talking about the history to have as well the context, what is happening there.
We are living in these times of extraordinary change, so we did try to illustrate three important things. How did we get here? What does it mean? And what to expect from the future?
Baltic countries are the countries that are the biggest helpers to Ukraine at the moment because they are the ones that understand the situation the best from their own history, from their own perspective.
Today we had two meetings at NATO headquarters in Brussels where we touched the topics such as Ukraine, eastern flank of NATO, and possible membership of Ukraine and Georgia. And for me as a representative from Georgia, it's really remarkable to hear the honest opinions of the people who work in NATO itself.
Students come to Brussels at a really important time, precisely because of the war in Ukraine. But also because both the European institutions and NATO itself face a number of critical decisions about where they're headed, what is their long-term function.
It was pretty much one of my childhood dreams to go to Mostar and see the old bridge. It was just a fantastic moment that surely will stay with me for very long.
We just finished our last academic event of this trip here in Podgorica with the president of Montenegro, and he was telling us a bit about his goals and his aims vis-a-vis EU enlargement. It was definitely a good way to finish the trip.
Ja mislim da Europski koledž je takvo mjesto koji koristeći se i ovakvim načinima sticanja znanja kroz studijska putovanja osposobljava mladu generaciju među kojima, uključujući i današnji auditorijum, su vjerovatno ljudi koji će u bliskoj budućnosti biti donosioci političkih odluka u svojim zemljama ili u Europskoj uniji.
Balkans has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Not only it's beautiful, it's interesting, the history is so rich, and every corner that we visited is different from before, which is amazing because it's a relatively small region.
Actually, I feel it like home. That's what my first feeling when I arrived to Montenegro.
One of the murals that I saw here in Brussels when I was walking down the streets, that the future is Europe. And I believe that the future should be built based on European values. This is the road and the route we have to go towards.